Raised bed irrigation does not need a plumber or a whole day. I put off fitting drip irrigation for 2 years because I told myself it was a van full of parts. So I kept carrying the watering can down the allotment instead. Then one wet Saturday I fitted a drip irrigation kit to one raised bed. 20 minutes, no van, no plumber, a pair of scissors, a hole punch, and a warm afternoon. This weekend we fit yours. Fit yours. Before we lay a single pipe, let me tell you why the raised bed is the first place in your garden that needs drip, not the last. People love a raised bed for 3 reasons. It drains freely so the roots never sit waterlogged. The soil warms early in spring so you get growing sooner, and you bend less to tend it. All good. But here's the thing. Those 3 gifts come from one property. A raised bed is open on the sides, lifted into the air, and packed with loose, free-draining soil. And the same fast drainage that keeps the roots healthy also lets the bed dry out faster than open ground. Wind takes the sides, sun takes the top. The water you poured on Monday is long gone by Wednesday, so the raised bed hands you a quiet contradiction. The very thing that makes it a lovely place to grow makes it a thirsty one. Which is exactly why a slow, steady drip line belongs here first, not as a luxury, as the thing that makes all that fast drainage survivable in a dry British summer. Right? Let's talk parts, because this is where most people talk themselves out of it. The list looks long in the shop. It is not, once you line it up in the order you fit it, from the tap outwards. First, a tap connector to fit your outdoor tap. Second, a filter which catches the grit that would otherwise block your drippers. Third, and this is the one beginners skip, a pressure reducer. Skip it and mains pressure will pop the drippers clean off the pipe on day 1. Fourth, the main pipe, 13mm black poly pipe, the backbone of the whole thing. Fifth, the drippers themselves, and a hole punch to fit them. And sixth, an end stop to close off the far end. That is the whole shop. 6 things in the order you will use them. Notice I am not asking you to understand any of them today. We took a drip system apart on the bench a few episodes back if you want the why. Today you are just picking them off the shelf in order, like a shopping round. Tap, filter, reducer, pipe, drippers, end stop. Say it once and you will not forget a thing at the till. Here is the first trick, and it is free. That 13mm main pipe comes coiled up tight in a roll. When it is cold, it stays coiled. It fights you. You lay it along the bed, and it springs back into a hoop like a stubborn spring. Try to bend it round a corner, and it kinks. So before you do anything else, unroll it and leave it out in the sun for an hour. The warmth softens the pipe, the coil relaxes, and it lies down flat and easy along the bed. Warm pipe bends to your bed, cold pipe fights back. On a gray day, or if you are impatient, run the coil through a bucket of warm water instead. Same idea, same result. This one habit is the difference between a calm 20 minutes and a swearing match with a piece of plastic. I learned it the hard way, on my knees in the cold, losing. Let the sun do the first job for you. By the time you have bought the rest and had a brew, the pipe is ready to behave. Now, where do the drippers actually go? This is where people freeze, staring at an empty bed, and it is simpler than it looks. There are only 2 situations. Situation 1, plants that sit apart as individuals. Tomatoes, courgettes, a pepper, a cabbage. Each one is a single customer at a single address, so each one gets its own dripper, pushed into the pipe right at its base. A very thirsty plant might earn a second. Situation 2, crops planted thick and close, like a row of salad leaves or a band of carrots. There is no point fitting a dripper per lettuce. Instead, you run a line with drippers built in along its whole length, called an inline drip line, and lay it down the row so the whole crowd drinks together. Individuals get a point, crowds get a line. That is the whole decision. And one golden rule while you are punching holes. Fit fewer than you think you need. You can always push another dripper in next week. Pulling one out leaves a hole you have to plug, so match the drippers to how the plants sit, not the size of the bed. As for exactly how many each crop wants, that is a whole science, and it is next week's episode. So here is the whole build start to finish in 6 steps. 1. Fit the tap connector, then screw on the filter and the pressure reducer in that order. 2. Push the warmed main pipe onto the reducer and run it along the bed. Use elbow joints to turn the corners, and peg the pipe down every so often so it stays put. 3. Walk the bed and mark where each plant sits. 4. Punch a hole at each mark with the hole punch, and push a dripper firmly in until it clicks. Take your time here. A dripper pushed in square does not leak. 5. Close the far end with the end stop. 6. Open the tap gently and watch. That is it. That is the whole job. The first time, going slow and reading as you go. It might take you half an hour. The second bed takes 20 minutes while the kettle boils. It is not the day-long ordeal you have been dreading. It never was. It is one warm afternoon, and then a bed that waters itself. Before you walk away feeling clever, 2 minutes that save you a season of grief. First, flush the line before you fit that end stop. When you cut and lay pipe, tiny shavings and grit end up inside it. Open the tap with the far end still open. Let the water run through hard for 10 seconds, and it carries all that rubbish out the end. Then, and only then, fit the end stop. Skip this and the grit sails straight into your drippers and blocks them. Second, open the tap gently, not full blast. A drip line runs on low pressure, and a sudden surge can knock fittings loose. Third, and this is the bit everyone forgets, get down on your knees and look. Check every single dripper is actually dripping. A blocked one hides in plain sight, and the plant above it quietly dies while everything looks fine from standing height. And keep each single line a sensible length. Push one run too far, and the end drippers starve while the near ones gush. There's a whole episode on that from last week. For one raised bed, you will be well within it. Flush it, open it gently, and watch it work. So the line is in, which leaves one question. Who opens the tap every morning? Here is my problem. I drive a bus. I am out the door at 5, home mid-afternoon, and a raised bed drains fast, so it wants a small, steady drink at first light, exactly when I am miles away in a depot. That is the gap I fill with the timer on my own tap, the Johgee 4 zone. It sits on the tap, the drip line feeds off it, and it opens at dawn by itself. The brains sit indoors by the router and reach the tap by radio, straight through the brick. In all honesty, if you have one bed you are home most days and you do not mind turning a tap, you do not need it. A 9-pound mechanical timer will do you proudly. This one earns its place when you are away or juggling several beds on different rhythms. Let me leave you with a bit of encouragement from someone who was exactly where you are. A gardener posted an update to a British gardening forum with the title, and I am not making this up, another garden update. The irritation is completed. Irritation, not irrigation. They left the typo in on purpose, because that is the sort of thing we find funny over here. And the post underneath was simple. They had fitted their first drip line to the raised beds that weekend, and honestly, it was easier than they feared. That is the whole thing in one post. Not a perfect system, not a professional install, just an ordinary gardener who stopped dreading it, spent one weekend, and came back a bit chuffed. So do not wait until you understand every fitting. Do not wait for the perfect kit. Fit a short line to one bed, get it a little wrong. Push in a dripper you did not need and pull it out again. That is how everyone learns this, on their knees, in their own garden. And once one bed waters itself, you will want to do the rest.